Alright, guys, welcome to another episode of the M.v.P show with yours truly, Shaun McGovern. Um, Isaiah is missing again for this episode. We're waiting for his new microphone setup to come in and all of that. He broke it that one episode. We were supposed to release this episode because we thought it was coming in. It didn't come in. I do want to say, let's get a happy birthday to Isaiah. It's his birthday today. And let's just get into the episode. Um, Last week with my predictions wasn't a great week. Wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. Um, I went 7-5 with my predictions. And let's just look at the card starting at the main event. Huge disappointment, obviously, in what happened to Conor McGregor. I don't think anyone expected that. No one was ready for it. Kind of sucked. I don't think McGregor should come back for another fight. I think he's too old now. I don't. I just don't see the point, really. I mean, he's old. He just injured his other leg, and on top of it, this is like the second Max Holloway fight in a row where we didn't really see him get to even fight. It was he got shut down by Oliveira completely. Now this fight, it was like over in a minute. So it was definitely it definitely sucked to watch. The walkouts were amazing. The lasers and the waves on the floor, that was sick. And then McGregor, he looked nervous. So for the first time I've ever seen McGregor in his face, he looked all nervous. Um, Maybe he was calm, like it's saying. He's been saying he's the calmest he's ever been. Maybe he's seeming spiritual, but that sucked. The co-main event, that was a bad prediction by me. I lost money on that fight, but I do have to say I genuinely do think um, Benoit Saint Denis is the better fighter. I think he's skillfully better, but I think he's just brain dead. Um, BSD is just a chud. That was like a chud performance. Patty Pimblett, good for him. I like that they're calling it the Pad Thai. I hope they keep that. Um, I don't know. I can't really hate on it. He did good. Patty looked. It was really short. There's not much to say. Um, Corey Sandhagen got robbed. I think that was a clear robbery. He clearly had rounds one and two in the bag. One was close, but he was outstriking him on the feet. He looked good. Round two, he came back from tearing his hamstring and was putting belt to ass. And then the round three, yeah, he. It was a rough round three, but still, like, come on, get it to him. What are we doing? If the for the judging criteria, if the number one thing they look at is damage, how didn't Corey Sandhagen win? There's there's no world where damage is number one criteria. He didn't win it. Um, I mean, I think Corey Sandhagen is technically so good. You know, not to take away from Mario Batista, right? Like Mario Batista's a dog. He looked good. Uh, um, he looked great even. Like that was a good fight by him. I just thought Corey had the first two rounds. I'd love to see that as a five rounder. I think it would be a lot closer. I think both guys would look better if it was a five rounder, but we'll see when their trilogy is. Um, Brandon Royval versus Lone. Uh, so the commentary team kept saying Lonnie, so I guess it's Lonnie Cavanaugh. But Brandon Royval versus Lonnie Cavanaugh. Why would he ever jump the guillotine? What was the game plan? Why? There was no reason to jump that guillotine. It was just like low IQ. Um, I don't know why he'd do that. It was a great fight. It was a war. They were hurting each other constantly. Um, I thought Brandon Royval died in that second round. He chicken walked, and I thought it was over for him. And then he came back, and it was a beautiful performance by him. I like Brandon Royval a lot, so I'm not mad with it. Um, good way for him to come back. I like it. I like his call out. We'll get into that later. Um, Great fight. Lonnie Cavanaugh looked bad first round. Not too bad, but he was getting a little dominated. Second round, he looked great. And then third round, it was just like low IQ to jump the guillotine like that. It was terrible. Um, Bobby Green versus Terrence McKinney. I told you guys. I told you guys that Bobby Green made it past the first minute and a half, he'd win. And that's what he did. And not only did he do it, not only did he get a finish in the first round, I predicted a finish in the second. He got it at the end of the first. He was talking, he was talking shit the entire time. He was getting in his face like that. I mean, Terrence McKinney was on his back choking him out, and he was just like, "Yeah, bitch, yeah, bitch." Who doesn't like that? What a performance by him. So many people were going, "Oh, it's rigged, rigged fight, rigged fight." Oh, the fight was rigged. Terrence McKinney sold it. Terrence McKinney told him there was a minute left. You're an idiot. If you think that fight was rigged, you're an idiot. Those body kicks to the body killed him, and the uppercut to the body was like the finishing blow. There was nothing rigged about that performance. That was a great performance. And you can't even take away from Bobby Green. He's old. He's an old man, and he's having a career resurgence. It's beautiful. Um, if we look at the other parts of the fight night, you know, Gable Steveson. My God, he looked crisp. It was sloppy, but he only has 4 fights to his career. I don't think we could take away from him. He looked great. I think there was a lot of adrenaline going into the fight. He had a like adrenaline dump, and he came out sloppy. But man, what a finish! He was fast. Those oblique kicks looked good. Those oblique kicks looked great. Um, I just, I'm honestly like, I can't believe he did look that good in 3 fights into his career. And yeah. Elijah Ellison is not that good. Sure, we can say that. Like I don't, but build him up slowly. Like I said, he's 3 fights into his career. Um, Most fighters are not fighting UFC level competition 3 fights into their career. Even the guys on the prelims are better than a lot of these guys elsewhere. It's crazy. Um, Cody Garbrandt needs to retire. Like that was bad. He was just no awareness to where his hands were. He was just throwing these boxing combinations and keeping his hands down. And you'd think for a guy who was getting knocked out a lot for a while, was getting hurt for a while, he'd make an adjustment in that way. But no, he just can't do it. He just can't do anything good for his own career. And the last highlight of this past fight week, Bobby Knuckles. I mean, Bobby, I told you guys he's more technically sound. I was a little scared of the power and the strength difference. In round one, we saw that. Nikita Krylov took him down, was kind of weighing on him. Robert Whittaker, he's strong. He's too big. Blah blah blah. Look at, look at. Uh, 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 uh. That one, that 1-2 was beautiful. And also, Nikita Krylov didn't even break his jaw. He just quit. Like he just did not want to continue the fight. He quit. I hate that guy. Also, I didn't think Joe Rogan needed to keep talking about, oh, he's a fat chud. Oh, he's a chud. Oh, he's a chud. Like Robert Whittaker was looking good. I want to see what else he does at light heavyweight. I hope he gets, you know, close to the title before he retires. That's all I want. I don't expect him to win the title, but I want him to get 2 more wins at light heavyweight. I'd love that. Love 2 more Bobby Knuckle performances. Um, I had Chud of the Week. I thought about putting Conor McGregor. He couldn't control that, so I put Benoit Saint Denis. Because holy zero IQ. How is Paddy Pimblett gonna tell him he's gonna shoot a takedown and then choke him out? And he shoots a takedown after hurting him. It was just an unintelligent performance. There's nothing else to say. Benoit Saint Denis should fight. Just don't even like make him fight someone low next, because he'll win that. Give him someone who will punish him and get him out of that top rankings. Because he has no spot at welterweight. I just think we should get him out the top five. He doesn't belong there. And the finish of the week, it has to be Paddy Pimblett. I don't even want to admit that. But if I didn't give it to Paddy Pimblett, I'd give it to Adrian Yanez. That was a nice knockout. He had Cody Garbrandt like walking backwards. He's cross-eyed. You saw his eyes go out. It was crazy. That was a nice one. Um, Now let's talk a little bit about who's next for these guys. We're gonna start with the winners. I have Max Holloway fighting Benoit Saint Denis. I think Max Holloway just got um, dominated by Oliveira. I think Max Holloway has this win, but it's not really a win. So it's not like I should give him a title shot or Ilya Taporia, but he's 2 wins away, right, from the title, I'd say. If he goes out and knocked out Benoit Saint Denis, that could be it. If he does it in spectacular fashion. But I like that fight. I think Max Holloway wins that, and I think Max Holloway will be that guy who punishes Benoit Saint Denis. I keep hearing talk about Max Holloway versus Carlos Prates, and if the UFC does that, I'll stop watching. I don't want to watch a murder on live TV. And it's just like the size discrepancy between 155 and 170, like that. Because Max Holloway is probably a 145er. I don't know if he belongs to 155 even, but at 170, not a chance. Then I had Patty Pimblett versus Ilya Taporia. I think we all knew that was coming. Um, I think Ilya wins that. Ilya gets back to the title, and we'll get that rematch. But I don't think Ilya deserves an instant title shot off of zero title defenses. I just don't see it happening. For Mario Batista, I don't know. He's in a weird spot. Everybody above him in the rankings kind of deserves the title. Um, there's probably more of an argument for Umar after his fight with Sonny Don. If he wins it, of course. And if Umar beats Sonny Don, give him the title shot and give Sean O'Malley Mario Batista. I don't believe in guys sitting around and waiting for the belt unless you're like Armin Sarkisian, which is just like, what else can you do? You've been getting robbed of the belt. I think Armin Sarkisian should even fight again. Um, Royval called out Asu Mbalaev. Just do that fight. Like, Royval's kind of in a similar situation where it's like he shouldn't fight up. All those guys above him are in a weird spot. You could be like Joshua Van if he loses to Pantoja. Yeah. Or just give him the call out. Let him work back up. Because Royval's fought for the title a lot, fought the top level guys, and he's lost most of them. I mean, he's lost all of his title shots, right? He's the only top guy he's beat is like Brandon Moreno. Um, I said give King Green, Bobby Green, Dan Hooker. Like Dan Hooker was already like chirping at him about that fight at once he won. I don't hate that fight. Or Tom Nolan. Tom Nolan just got into the rankings. Let Bobby Green try to ruin that for him. I don't hate that. I think Bobby Green probably loses his next fight. If it's against Dan Hooker, he could win though. Like that's winnable. But Tom Nolan probably beats him. Um, I made these notes this morning, and then after I made these notes, this guy got failed the test for PEDs or EPOs. So I had Whitaker versus Volkan Ozdemir. That's not there anymore. So give Whitaker Dustin Jacoby. I like the Volkan Ozdemir fight because it's like kind of like two unks. There's danger for Whitaker. It's not like a safe fight. I don't hate it either. I kind of like it. Um, I said give Gable Derek Lewis. Just keep pushing this guy slow. We don't have to force anything. We don't have to force him to go up big. And Derek Lewis is that guy you give all the prospects to now. I mean, it's punishing for Derek Lewis, and I hate to say it. Yeah, so next look, if we look at Adrian Yanez, I think a lot of people forgot about this guy, but I'd give Adrian Yanez um, Jonathan Martinez. Jonathan Martinez hasn't fought since 2024. He's on a two-fight skid. Great leg kicks. Had a good fight with the Jose Alda. I hope he's planning on coming back. I liked him. I liked him a lot. Sorry, I'm tired, but I liked him a lot. I'd like if I'd like I like him a lot. I'd like if he came back. I think that's a good fight for him, an exciting striking fight. But I don't think that's like I think it's like pretty 50-50. If you look at like the rankings outside the top 15 at featherweight, we have Luke Riley right next to Andre Fili, who's coming off of the loss of Vinicius Oliveira. Why not? I think it's a good fight for Luke Riley. I think Luke Riley's going against like a tested, battle hardened striker. Um, I think that's a fireworks fight. I think they're both very good strikers. I think Luke Riley probably wins that, but I'd like that fight. Wayne Cobb, against Aaron Blanchfield. Tracy Cortez just lost to Aaron Blanchfield. Aaron Blanchfield. There's no title shot at that. I'm, I don't know what's going on, but just get that fight. I think Wayne Cobb probably loses. Was it? I thought Wayne Cobb lost to Tracy Cortez. What happened, right? And if Wayne Cobb does lose, then she's gonna lose the hype because it's gonna be like she's gonna get out wrestled and all that. Um, Feed Cody Brundage to the dogs and give him Damian Pinas. That's the fight to make. Just kill Cody Brundage again. That's what we always do. Why not do it more? Um, I have Fareed Basharat against um against David Martinez. Meta rankings wise, it makes sense. David Martinez. He just beat Chito Vera, who's not even ranked now. So let's give him that fight. I think that's like a good competitive fight. Ryan Gauger's on a tear now. Give him Bruno Ferreira. He's on a two-fight losing streak. I think that's a good matchup. Now it makes sense after Gauger won. And give Alessandro Costa. He's fought three times this year, three finishes. Give him Tim Elliott. Tim Elliott's that guy. Tim Elliott. Looking for the losers. Um, I think Conor McGregor should fight Michael Chandler, and if not, retire. I just I saw him post it has to be Max. It's just not good for him, and it's not good for Max's career. Max isn't 35 yet. Max has time. Max trying to get to the title one more time. I don't think it's impossible to get to the title. I think especially if Gaethje's champion, he has a good argument off of one win or two wins. And if he's just active, just let him be an active guy at 155. I said Corey Sandhagen versus Peyton Talbot. This was a fight they were looking at like long ago, but I think it's a better fight now. Cody's Corey is coming off of two losses. Talbot's coming off of three wins. He just beat Cejudo. It's a jump in competition, but it's not a crazy one. And I think it's a winnable fight for Talbot, unfortunately. I have to put Lonnie Kavanaugh against the winner of Steve Ursig against Ramazan Bek Timarov, who's fighting, I think, in 2 weeks. I think that fight just makes a lot of sense. It like lines up well in terms of the division. Terrence McKinney said he wanted to move up to welterweight after this fight. So give him Nicholas Dalby right outside the rankings, just like where Terrence McKinney is. But Nicholas Dalby is like exciting, weird matchup for McKinney. I think McKinney probably loses. Um, yeah, I think McKinney loses that, but I think it's a good matchup. Krylov versus retirement. When's the last time this guy won a fight? I just think it's like a waste of time for him to be back. Um, Elijah Ellison, he should get cut too, to be honest. He's 0-2 at heavyweight. If not, give him Shaun Sharaf. They're both 0-2 in the heavyweight. Whoever just gets cut. I don't want to keep saying retirement or getting cut or retirement or getting cut, but let's do Garbrandt retirement. And if not, give him Ethan Ewing, who's supposed to fight Basharat. But this is like, it's not a ranked opponent, but it gives like a big draw. It's a big draw fight, right? And then we could probably throw him to the top 10. Ethan Ewing. Kai Kamaka, he's in a weird spot. I say give him Francis Marshall. It's like a featherweight kind of boring fight. This one boring too. Tracy Cortez against JJ Aldrich. It's just like the way the rankings works. That's literally my only thought process when it comes to it. CJ Almeida should fight Dante Johnson. Dante Johnson has a little bit of hype. He was a heavyweight, now he's a middleweight. He's looking pretty decent. Let's do it. Give him Cesar Almeida. John Garza looked great against. I think he's getting caught for losing because he did put up a really good fight against that ranked guy. Let's do. Let's do John Garza versus Damon Blackshear. I think that fight lines up really well. And then I like for this last one or second last one, I like Zachary Reese versus Wes Schultz. Zachary Reese is in a weird spot in his career. He just lost to Michelle Pereira, who just got cut. I think he's probably the UFC might be looking at cutting him after one more. Schultz, I think he wins that. I thought he'd win this fight. I think Joe Rogan cursed him. He looked good, and then Joe Rogan goes, "Oh, he looks good. I like what he's doing." And boom, he goes down. Terrible. But finally, let's look at Cody Durden. He's just he's like 1-5 in his last six. It's just not great. Not great to be. Or 1-4 in his last five. Whatever it is. Um, Next week's card or this week, Saturday, tomorrow. We got Ezra Elliott versus Damian Anderson. They're both undefeated fighters debuting. Um, I have Ezra by submission. He has a lot of submissions. I think he'll get that. I think it will be a scrap though. I think they're both good on the ground. I think they're both good on the feet, but I think it will be a scrap. Um, Dione Barboza versus Anna Malagia. Give me Anna by hype. We just need like the women's division to get the ball rolling. So listen, I just hope the hype train wins, right? Alvin Hines, the Goose, versus R.J. Harris. I like Alvin Hines a lot. I liked him when he debuted. I like him now. I think he loses. R.J. Harris is undefeated. These younger guys at heavyweight are looking like they're like the new premier. I'm hoping R.J. Harris debuts. He's fast. He's good. He looks like a good new heavyweight. I'd like that a lot. Um, Alden Correa versus Stuart Nickel. I like Stuart Nickel. Not the smartest guy. Correa is just coming off wins. I think Alden Correa is going to take it. Levi Rodriguez Jr. versus Philip Franco. Or Felipe Franco. Give me Levi. Undefeated. Debuting at 205. That's all I can say. I mean, come on. These guys don't have a lot of information around them. Siak Yaron Ko versus John Paul Lesbanania. How do you say that? Lesban and Yanni. I like John Paul a lot. I follow him on social media. I look at him on social media a lot. He's a nice guy. He's just been posting like videos about the weight cut and what the PI gives them. It's interesting to look at. I just think all around John Paul's the better guy. I think he has better striking numbers, better striking averages, better takedown averages. But Saki on averages more takedowns per fight, which is interesting. Um, Austin Bashi versus Jose Miguel Delgado. I followed Austin Bashi since the Contender Series. I've always liked them. Jose Miguel Delgado. He's good. This is a really good fight. But I just see a heavy wrestling game plan for Bashi. and I see him winning 29-28. I think he might get hurt at some point, but I think he might be able to recover. Tommy McMillan versus Alberto Montes. I don't hate any fighter more. Forget about Ozzy Diaz. I hate Tommy McMillan. He's the corniest, most boring fighter to ever exist. He's like Sean O'Malley if you make Sean O'Malley emo and corny and bad. He gets hit, he's sloppy against these unranked guys. I don't have a high ceiling for him. I think he might lose this fight. I have Alberto Montes by submission. Um, Tabitha Ricci against Fatima Klein. Um, I like both these women a lot. I think out of the women's fighters, they're some of the more interesting ones. I think it will be close, but if I was a betting man, I'd go with Fatima. But I would not count out Tabitha Baby Shark Ricci. Chase Hooper versus Rich Ramirez or Ramirez. My little Hoop Hoop is on a two-fight skin, and I think he turns it around here. He was looking great before all these mess ups, but he keeps striking, he keeps handing up. I just want him to shoot the takedown and go for the submission. Hoop Hoop needs to keep grappling. That gets in 2 to 3 years, brother. Hooper gets it in a submission win. Jared Cannonier versus Christian Leroy Duncan. I love Jared. I want him to win so bad, but just time is unstoppable. It's a never-ending cycle, and Christian Leroy Duncan is an explosive striker. I just think this is a bad matchup for the Killer Gorilla's chin at his age. So I probably have Christian Leroy Duncan by KO. Unfortunately. And if we look at the main event, we got Dricus Duplessis versus Kumar Usman. I like both these guys a lot. I think they're almost like opposite in their styles. Um, I think DDP is very entertaining. I think Kamaru he put the size on a little bit better than like the Hamza fight. We just saw DDP get like wrestle fucked. I think Kamaru has really good wrestling. DDP's able to get a finish in this fight. It's either Kamaru by decision or DDP by knockout in like the later rounds. But overall, I'm gonna back the boy, the Nigerian Nightmare, all night long. And we won't do a hot take. Isaiah's not here. There's no one to argue with. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it so much. Next week, Isaiah will be back. I appreciate you guys.